Akwaba, like we say in Ghana. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Breaking Barriers webinar. It's truly a joy to have you explore with us how Opportunity International has been harnessing technology through our 50+ year journey of empowering people to build purposeful lives. I'm AKUAMOAH from Ghana, Director of Market Engagement for Opportunity International's Digital Innovations Group. Today, I'm so delighted to co-host this event with my friend and colleague, Alice. Alice, how are you?
Hello to you, Amma. I am great and great to see you. To have you here. To all our guests here today, who I may not have met before, my name is Alice LAJWA, dialing in from Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. I joined Opportunity International in 2007 as a Trust Group Loans Officer. Currently, I am the project manager handling women empowerment here in Uganda and other parts of Africa. My role is to ensure that women are given the solutions and support they need to manage and grow their businesses so they can build a sustainable livelihood.
Now, Alice and I have been incredibly busy since our Women of Opportunity tour across the US. We've been doing something that is at the heart of who we are as an organization. We've been on the ground listening. We have been validating and collecting the lived experiences of our clients for our CoLab research. And we'll be telling you more about our CoLab process later on, because there is something that we believe as an organization. The most powerful technology solutions aren't built in boardrooms. They are built around the lived experiences of the people that we serve. And today, we're going to share more of those stories with you. So you have to stick around.
That's right, Amma. Today, we'll be discussing how Opportunity is reimagining how we serve our clients through human-centered designs and groundbreaking digital tools. Then we'll invite our CEO, Atul TANDON, and our Head of Product and Technical Innovation, Paul Eseni, to join us to answer your questions. Please feel free to submit your questions at any point by clicking the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Now let's go ahead and dive in. To get started, I'd like to bring up Atul TANDON because I have a question for you, Atul. I know you've led nonprofits through major global shifts before. How do digital innovations feel different today than before, either in their pace, scale, or impact on the communities that we serve?
Alice, thanks for the question. And you always ask these questions that make me pause and think. And thank you for asking one such question. New technologies, new solutions for a changing world, and the world is rapidly changing. But the question of technology and what change it can do, and what I have seen in my time, in my work life, in the humanitarian world and the larger world, frankly, the biggest parallel that I can think of, Alice, is the mobile phone, the introduction of the mobile phone. Because when we introduce it to our clients, and it's not so far back, probably in the last 20, 25 years, it changed their social lives for sure. They could now talk to each other more, but it changed the economic lives. They could pick up the phone and find out the price for their crop in the next town, in the next village, to find out the job opportunity in the next village, to find out if a loved one needed care and be there for them, to get the good news of the birth of a child, to get the sad news of the passing of grandma. All those could happen, but importantly, economic lives could move faster. These new technologies today, Alice, specifically artificial intelligence, has the same and a bigger promise, because it's not only a voice connectivity that this technology now offers, it's the connectivity of our brains. Now, Linda and Barbara and Faustina, Bertha, Moses, Muja, they have now the best brains, the collective wisdom of the world available to them to answer the questions that they have, questions that have, endemically kept them in poverty. And those answers coming from all of us, applied to them, is what's going to change their lives. I should tell you, I was present in the room, when our clients picked artificial intelligence as their preferred technology that they wanted us to develop. In fact, the person who had posed that question is going to be with you today is Paul S.N.E. By the way, he showed up in that meeting with a backpack. He had just flown in from Seattle, Washington to Lilongwe, Malawi. He wasn't sure there was going to be a hotel there. He was sleeping under the proverbial palm tree, he thought. But that's a different story for a different time. Paul, welcome. But the story is not about Paul or Atul. The story is about Martha and about Faustina. They are the ones of all the solutions we presented picked AI. And why? Because in that case, for that farmer, for the smallholder farmer, the artificial intelligence could give her a very precise answer when to plant her soya crop, when to apply the particular pesticide, when to make sure that she was protecting the crop. And those answers were very precise and timely. It would have taken her weeks to get those answers from the district agricultural officer. She could do it in seconds. That's the promise that AI offers now to thousands of our clients who today have the use of those apps. Tomorrow, those will be hundreds of thousands, day after millions of clients. And that's really the future we are here to talk about, Alice. With that, back to you.
Thank you so much, Atul. We appreciate you joining us and look forward to seeing you back here in a bit for the Q&A. Opportunity International has always been at the forefront of serving people in the last mile. In the last 2 decades, we've layered technologies and that change how we serve them, and I'm a witness to all this evolution, having been here for nearly 2 decades. In addition to bringing innovative financial tools like mobile banking in the hands of our clients, we've also wanted a solution for women who have no education and reading abilities, or those who do not carry government-issued credentials. A key innovation at Opportunity Programming was biometric identification, where with just a fingerprint, those women could still open, manage, and access bank accounts. This was revolutionary for women who were previously excluded from our financial systems. Another tool I've seen completely revolutionize how we serve our clients was for our savings group. If you're not familiar with our savings group, these are small groups where clients pool their funds together so they can lend them back to one another. As you might imagine, a savings group has at least 3 books to keep their records, but with a new app that allows them to input attendance, deposits, withdrawals, and all their records, I've seen group meetings shrink from 2 hours to just 30 minutes. This keeps their information secure, accurate, and it gives the clients more time to focus on discussing financial concepts or even just getting back to their businesses. I've seen other areas evolve as well, from laborious paper-based processes to digitalized simple processes. In our education program, for example, the lives of our school leaders has greatly been simplified, as they can now digitally complete their school assessments and school development plans and have a copy close at hand as and when they need it. And farmers have not been left out. We take high-performing clients and train them to be farmer support agents who take opportunities, training into their communities to reach even more farmers. We equip them with smartphones to deliver those tools and training, as well as collect data.
At Opportunity International, human-centered design is not just a methodology for us. It's a philosophy that we live. We believe that the most effective technological solutions emerge when we start with the people that we serve, and not the technology. So our approach begins with deep listening. Before we design any digital interface, our teams spend time with the communities, sitting with farmers in their fields, spending time with teachers in their classrooms, understanding their pain points, and basically understanding the daily realities of the families that we are building these technologies for. So for example, we learned in Ghana that our farmers don't need another complex app. She simply needs a simple tool built on a familiar interface like WhatsApp that tells her when to plant her crops for maximum impact. We also learned, for example, that for our teacher, she does not require another sophisticated educational dashboard, but she needs instant access to national curriculum so she's able to understand how to develop her lesson plans that fits the needs of the various students in her class. The result, technology that basically delivers impact in the people's lives that we serve. For us at Opportunity International, human-centered design means we measure our success not by how fancy the technology is, but how it seamlessly fits into the lives of the people that we are serving. It's innovation with purpose, guided by empathy and grounded in real human needs. And I bet you probably have heard us say very often, personas, personas, personas. So a persona is basically an archetype of the clients that we serve. So be it a teacher, a farmer, or anybody within the health space, or an entrepreneur. And in fact, Alice and I, a few weeks ago, spent so much time in rural Uganda, understanding these personas and bringing all of those learnings back to the table. Alice, do you want to give them a gist about our road trip?
Yes, of course. Just a few months ago, Amma and I visited Ugandan villages to spend the day with clients so that we could build a persona that would represent their lives and their challenges. One of the women that we met was named Dorika, and she opened her home and her heart to us. From the moment we entered into her home to the time we left, her warmth filled the atmosphere with optimism, hope, and resilience that tomorrow will definitely be better. She was so invested in the process because she knew that in sharing her life with us, we would be able to build tailored solutions relevant not only to her needs, but to the needs of countless clients out there looking to grow their businesses and earn a steady income. Amma and I started our day with Dorika at dawn, when she usually wakes up, to dusk when she retires for the night. She's usually the first to wake up, as well as the last to go to bed. We saw her tend her farm, collect food from the garden, and prepare lunch over call for her family. We took pictures, recorded videos, made observations, and asked questions. All this was done with one goal: to know exactly who is this person, what does her day look like, what are her pain points at home and at her businesses, what are her dreams and aspirations.
Nze kyeneenyumirizaamu sirina wannuma, nina abaana bange basoma, newankubadde siri mugagga nnyo, naye kyenina mpulira nga ndi mumativu n'ebyo Katonda byampadde. Nange njagala abaana bange basome era babeere ab'omugaso, nange mu bukadde bwange bandabirire. Ate nange era sinakaddiwa nnyo, nange sooka okwegomba okuvuga ku kamotoka, nange ne nkavuga. Ate ne nzimbayo ku nnyumba ennungi, ku maka amalungi ageesiimisa. Nange ebyo mpulira mbyegomba. Nandyagadde nzijukirwe mu mirimu gyange gye nkola, bagambe nti ono omukyala abadde mukozi, abadde atuyamba, nga seeyagaliza, nga ne baliraanwa bange abaneetolodde famire nga nange baneegomba olw'okuba bwe nnima ekintu ne mbawaako bakujjukira.
Dorika's needs are as diverse as the many hats that she wears. Dorika is resilient, and we saw this firsthand. She's investing in the education of her children so they can have a better life than she did. And as the saying goes, understanding the question is half the answer. Understanding the problem is half the solution. This rigorous process is therefore very crucial in helping us to get a deep understanding of the person at the center of what Opportunity International does, to help us build solutions relevant to their needs and not just our assumptions. The key is to start with the end user. The result of this kind of research are detailed personas, an archetype of the people we want to serve, so that solutions are designed for specific realities. In this journey, we interviewed at least 5 clients for each persona, and then those are used in our new innovation accelerator that we launched last year called the Collaboration Laboratory, or the CoLab. And someone may ask, what is the CoLab? The CoLab is a 12-month process that starts with gathering one of Opportunity's greatest resources, and that is our staff. We come together at the beginning of the year for what is called the Idea Day, where we use personas as the basis for ideating hundreds of ideas for how we can solve our clients' challenges. We then begin a rigorous process where the top ideas are selected for further development. And last year, my idea was one of those chosen, so I got the experience of the whole process. We each received mentors from companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Disney, and X, as well as resources from MIT, so that we could develop our ideas into prototypes. Eventually, the most promising ideas are tested in the field where we collect user feedback. Then the top 3 solutions are developed and piloted in specific regions. Ama, would you like to tell us what's happening now with some of these ideas?
Alice, in fact, the incredible ideas from our staff at Idea Day 2024 are being deployed as we speak, and the solutions are incredible, if I may say so myself. Let me run you through a few of them. I'll start with our AI-powered app for our school leaders. Alice, as you and I know, and what we saw on the ground, our school leaders are overwhelmed and overrun by manual processes for running their schools. But now with this new development, they are able to now have an automated school development plan. They're able to track the data of their students. They're able to streamline their operations and also manage their finances better. This is now saving our school leaders time and enough room for them to start thinking of how to expand their schools, improve the facilities, and bring more children into the classroom. It makes me think of Madame Helena in Ghana, who always says that with this technology, she's able to now think of ways in which to make her school a safe haven for the precious children who come to her. And we have not forgotten our teachers. We know firsthand that our teachers struggle with the development of their lesson plans, especially because in these schools, sometimes their children number more than 70 in a class. So imagine trying to develop lessons that capture the needs of these over 70 students in your classroom as a teacher. These teachers are also mothers and also wives, and they have many responsibilities on the home front. But now with our AI-powered tool, our teachers are able to develop their lesson plans very, very quickly. They are able to also, with the help of the co-pilots, to be able to design tests for the children that captures their individual learning ability. It makes me think of my time in school, Alice. I was a bit of a troublesome student. It was because I was very curious. So I'm thinking of a time where my teachers struggled to keep pace with me in terms of what my learning needs were. And now I'm so happy to be able to know that children like me in those classrooms would have their learning needs served so that they don't become bored and sometimes become a thorn in the flesh of their teacher. But that is not all. Alice, our farmers are not left behind, but also more importantly, our farmer support agents, who are the best of the best farmers in our communities and who are helping our farmers, now have an AI-powered tool where they are able to support the farmers in their region. One of the challenges they faced in the past was the fact that they could not clearly demarcate and know the size of the farms that they were working with. But now with our AI-powered tool, they are able to demarcate the land very carefully. They're also able to make recommendations to our farmers and help them earn more and also grow more. I know firsthand that our farmer support agents are very, very happy about this. The best thing about this app, Alice, is that we are also now able to integrate our farmer chatbot into it, which was first developed about 2 years ago and has now been expanded into 5 different countries. Like we always do at Opportunity International, we make sure that the local context is imbibed in these AI-powered tools. So I can tell you firsthand that if you're in Malawi and you are using Ilongizi, which I know most of you have heard about because it has been featured in the Time magazine article and also at the Microsoft Global Summit, where we showed a video of how the impact of this AI chatbot is helping our farmers. The chatbot now is in local language. So if you're in Malawi, it's in Chichewa, and the information that our farmers are receiving is from the Ministry of Agriculture's best farming practices. Our farmers now are able to have information at their fingertip so they can make informed decisions to save their farms. Aren't these innovations incredible? I am personally always blown away about the different use cases and how we are deploying technology to serve the most marginalized communities. But I'm also aware that there's still a very important missing piece.
That's right. Despite all the incredible things technology can do, there are still barriers that require a person to overcome. We call this having a human in the loop. Digital inclusion in Africa is highly concentrated in the urban areas, with rural areas often lacking basic connectivity infrastructure. Even where there's connectivity, it's another challenge to be able to afford access to it. So our staff and the people that we empower, like the farmer support agents, are able to ensure outreach to the people who are farthest away from technology. They are equipped with tools like tablets and phones that can work on low or no bandwidth when needed, as well as internet hotspots to be able to bring opportunities expertise all the way to these rural communities.
At Opportunity International, we ensure that no one gets left behind by deploying the human in the loop system. So whether it's our farmer, our teacher, our business owner, or our school leader, we ensure that everybody gets a chance to use this technology to improve their lives and to empower their communities.